I thought it was hilarious.
Caleb, that was good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously lying.
He's lying.
You gotcha. Alright, we're just gonna wait for Garrett to have a seat whenever he comes.
Garrett, as long as you want to take it. My pencil is.
It's like he's in a state of panic.
This is my only pencil.
That's gonna be Tanner a little bit.
Hey, you need one?
It's my only pencil. Where's that?
Okay, I'll just borrow one and figure. Alright, will you stop filming now?
Nope.
Let's see if I can get that red laser right in that eye.
You got it.
Alright, Kyle.
Are you filming it right now?
Yes.
Awesome. Ready?
I'm ready, you are.
Alright, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, so are you ready? Alright, so I'm here to tell you guys a little place. I'm sorry, jeez, I can't get my words out. First sentence always works. Alright, so I'm here to tell you guys about the place I call paradise. This paradise has 340 days of sunshine a year, along with an average temperature of 74 degrees. And don't forget, it's 27 miles of shoreline. Also, it has the highest concentration of dolphins in the world. Pretty cool, right? Alright, so this place I call paradise is also known as Panama City. The place I now call home, or I've always called home. A lot of you may take for granted the place you live in, thinking, oh, it's just another stupid place that I've grown up in all my life, which is making you just not realize the historical background that our city actually carries. That is why, after 18 years of living here, I have built a good background on Panama City. And in my speech, I'm going to tell you the history of Panama City. The first time we have records of anybody inhabiting the Bay County area is when the Spanish first explored America in 1500, according to PanamaCityMarketplace.com. At this time, the Choctaw and Yushi tribes inhabited this area, but they soon died off because of Spanish relations and the viruses that the Spanish carried over here. But in 1700, the Choctawhatchee, Creek, and Cherokee Indians all started to inhabit the area, populated area in Bay County. They became very friendly with the European explorers and soon started trading them deer skins and also other animal skins. But in 1830, sadly the government issued the Trails of Tears, and many of these natives took off and headed for Oklahoma. But the natives that left behind, well, they got to become part of the, not those Seminoles. Not the better Seminoles. All right. Well, the first Europeans we actually saw here established in Panama City, near on Beach Drive, near Lake Caroline. Lake Caroline is right here, right down the street from the marina, and it got named after Caroline Hentz, who was a profound writer in the South. But in 1845, Panama City got its name because the post office just started randomly calling it St. Andrews. The St. Andrew area was named after the Catholic calendar of the day given to St. Andrew, and because that was the day the settlement was founded on. So, as time rolled on, the Civil War approached, and Panama City actually played a pretty big part in the Civil War. It was the main supplier of salt for the whole Confederate military. So, the North definitely saw it as an attacking point, a place to take out of, since it was such a big importance. So they finally destroyed it, and all 32 homes were destroyed in 1863. After the Civil War, many investors came to the Panama City area thinking that it was going, because they heard about it through the war. And prices of lots went from $1.25 to $8 in just a few years. Finally, in 1886, investors started to think of a resort area that they would call Clark's Resort. This Clark's Resort would have a middle, Mackenzie Park, and be surrounded by residences for the guests, while also a commercial area, seen right here, known as present-day Harrison Avenue, would support the retail and sales of the resort. As for the city itself, it grew in population, but due to a flu epidemic early in stages, the whole resort plans got canceled. But in 1906, Panama City got to be known as a national port because of the railroad that got established. The railroad was done by Abe Steele, and it connected Panama City to Dothan. This was important because Dothan was later connected to Atlanta. And now people saw Panama City as a national port. Panama City got its name from also Abe Steele. He was the one that named Panama City because he once saw his products going through the Panama Canal down in Panama since it was just open, the Panama Canal was. So he believed his railroad would be carrying products that would later get to the Panama Canal. As World War II approached, the J.A. Jones shipyard built 102 Liberty ships and 6 tankers in just a few years. So this was later known as Eastern Shipyards. Tyndall was also founded during the World War II, acting as a secondary military base, Air Force base, to Homestead during World War II, which is down in Miami. But as all things came to a start, tourism started to shift away. In the 1940s, Panama City began to catch the eye of many tourists across the nation, but because of the completion of the DuPont and Hathaway bridges along with Highway 98, well, Panama City's hotspot got shifted over the bridge to Panama City Beach, a new known territory. As you can see, our city has an interesting history that is long and quite interesting. Starting from the native tribes and ending into the one of the most vacation spots in America. Hearing this history, I hope that you have found a new beauty in Panama City. A beauty that is so great, you'll call it a paradise with me. Alright, since I was the last speech, I put together a few things. Like, my speech is over, but this is just some interesting facts I found on it that I couldn't include in my speech. And the coolest one is there was a casino on Shell Island back in the 40s, but it got moved to Long Beach on the beach.
Pretty cool.